All right. Live. Got to fix the coloring, but we
It
are
is
good.
blue.
It is. Coloring will be fixed. There we go. Every time. Every time. Okay, there we go. Perfect. How you doing, Cameron? You're number 1 again.
Cameron, it's been so long. I don't even know what I was doing with her. She looks rough.
She doesn't look rough. She looks great.
She does look rough. She looks like she's been having a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know
remember.
I don't know either.
It was so long, guys.
So, if this is your first time here, we will paint miniatures. Well, Paula will. While we discuss whatever topics come up. Typically RPG related. We get a little off topic sometimes, but it's all in good fun. And normally on a Sunday night we would be doing persuasion check with Bill from Roll Stats. He is sick. He's had a stomach bug the last few days. So we decided to miniature paint instead, just because it's been so long since we've talked to you guys.
Yeah, we had internet issues.
Oh my gosh,
and we
yes.
had just
life
being crazy issues. What's today? Is the 4th?
Yeah, it's like almost Halloween.
You know that Lily has tests she has to go into for tomorrow, right?
Nope. But that's okay. We can talk about that after the stream.
Okay, cool.
We don't even talk about school. Nobody here cares about a 9-year-old school. So what do you think you're going to paint after that?
After this?
Yeah.
Okay, so after this, you guys, let's see what we got. What do we have out here? So I have the other
I have all those boxes
Barbarian version of this. I have a couple of who's that guy? Ooh, I have this guy.
He's cool.
He looks pretty cool.
You could do him in black and purple and gold, and then make the lightning translucent purple or something. Oh, it'd be so cool.
Yeah, he could be cool. We could do, what else do we have over here?
We have everything. That's gonna tip. That's gonna tip. It's on top of that treasure chest.
Guys, furniture. We've been rearranging furniture all day.
You're not doing a big dragon
I'm
again.
not doing a dragon.
No big dragons.
Sorry.
I'm putting the kebab on that right away.
Kibosh?
Yeah, that too. Or I'm just going to put it on a shish kebab and we're going to eat it.
We kind of got this guy too. This guy is kind of neat.
You don't want to paint him.
He's kind of cool.
You got to hold him further back. I permanently focused it. And it's not seeing white real well. It's because it's white.
It's fine. Let's see. I don't know.
Okay. No biggies. No biggies. So yeah, we got our Beck Me game Tuesday. We start Keep on the Borderlands. I believe everyone's made characters. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Bill Allen's character. I know Draven Swiftbow made his character on his channel.
Oh yeah?
He's playing an elf. A low-scoring elf.
Oh yeah, I think he sent us his info.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yup. But he meets the prerequisites.
Our 4 stats.
Ooh, what is this? Okay. Hey all, I hope Bill gets well soon. Yeah, me too. I was looking forward to tonight. We were going to talk about the Keep on the Borderlands campaign Tuesday.
I hope he feels better.
Yeah, I guess he can't even keep water down or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Cameron says I'm doing good. Just got done with my bad day, and now I'm making it something different. You guys should check out the mini reviews on the Gallant Goblin. They're very relaxing. So I've watched all of those. He does the unboxings of the pre-painted miniatures and stuff. WizKids sends him like multiple boxes. So does Pathfinder, like, or Paizo. They send him like boxes of stuff, like huge, massive boxes that take weeks for him to go through. He just is always doing unboxing videos and like talking about it. He's got a very calming voice. So Victor says, Cameron, I know you will have a great day tomorrow, or I will get you a refund with only a 15% restocking fee. Cameron says, Dragon Bobs sound good. We're not doing any dragons. We're done with the dragons for a little bit. Paula wants to do simple little things. She needs to find more gnomes, halflings, and dwarves. That's what she needs to do. Right, Paula? Don't you agree?
I guess, man. I don't know what I need. Right now, I'm just excited that the internet is working. We have unloaded and moved around all the furniture. We have, like, you know, a lot of stuff has happened in the last couple weeks. It's been kind of crazy.
It has. It really has.
Like, it was a wild ride.
It started, like, I was feeling really overwhelmed a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, I'm going to take a stream or two off. And then, you know, it got, things just got crazy with, like, the internet and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah, our internet didn't work. They had to rewire the entire house.
Kinda, not really.
Like,
there's 2 ports into our house that had internet. The very first guy who set us up a year and a half ago used the one that was not on Main Street. He used the one off of the court. So it was the wrong line. So he did it. He also was too lazy to just go to the other one and run it under our crawl space like he was supposed to. And so when this person showed up, they're like, oh, no, you can't use that no matter what. And no, I can't run it to over there. It's not going to work. So we had to change where our modem is. It's now in the garage, which if you know anything about internet, you know that is a terrible place for a modem. Lots of interference, things like that. So anyways, that's where our modem is. I am hardwired in, and our internet's doing okay in the house. We'll see how it does for her work tomorrow, but our house is long and skinny. And so her office just happens to be through a few plaster walls. So we'll see how that goes. They do Pathfinder 2. Holy crap. Now I'm double stoked. Yeah, Gallant Goblin, he reads the summary of like modules and stuff. And then he also reviews like the Lost Omens miniatures and things like that. They're pretty good if you want a quick like overview of things. For sure. Like I said, he's got a really soothing voice. It's easy to just put it on and go with it, you know. Paula, is that lightning on that mini's back?
I mean, like, sure is, I think. I mean, I think it kind of looks
green
like that,
in the picture.
but I think
show them
it's
that.
yellow in the picture.
I think it's just her rage.
But I think, like, it could be a lot of different things. I mean, I don't know all the different, you know, I don't know everything about every barbarian class type, but like mine has like spirit guardians that come and like help distract other people during a battle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it could be a lot of different things.
Right.
From some of their like extra bonus features that you get as you kind of level up.
There goes. Ooh, it lagged for a second. That was interesting.
That's what I think is going on.
I think it's cool. I think it's just something to do with
Yeah.
rage. But yeah, you could pretend it's lightning. Why not? Why
I think it
not?
could be a number of things.
Good.
So tonight is also an experiment to see how good our new internet is.
Yeah,
as well. So
let us know if it gets laggy at all. I'm very curious.
sorry in advance if things don't go well.
It should be fine for them because, like I said, we're hardwired in out here. So I was considering bringing the Xbox out here too, because I've already noticed the Xbox has lost internet a couple times in just the one day we've had internet back. So I'm a little concerned that it's not going to work well. And you can't play any video games anyway if the internet's out. So it's kind of annoying. You know how that stuff goes. Technology. So Paula and I traded. I traded her we had a hutch out here, a China hutch.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave me a 5x5 Calyx IKEA bookshelf that I can't fill the whole thing. It's amazing. So now I've got that. I've got two 2x4
because
Calyx white bookshelves.
that was my craft stuff.
Yes.
But now I put my craft stuff in the China hut, so we'll see how that goes. It's a little tighter or smaller, so
yes.
I had a little trouble fitting things, but I think it'll be okay.
Welcome, Paul. Paul says, only you need to know for a barbarian is to crush your barbarians, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of the women. Thanks. Cameron says, so far it's a great stream. Victor says, the stream is flowing smoothly with good sound. Great.
Perfect, guys.
That's perfect, actually. Glenn says, Paul Ross, LOL. So, Paul, we're doing a movie theme for Christmas. And there's no movies I can think of wanting to buy. I thought about buying Crow, but I'm like, whatever. It'd be like a one and done. I'll never want to watch it probably again. Because I'll be like, wow, this is a lot worse than I remember from my childhood.
Back up a second. So every year for Christmas, we do some sort of theme gift.
Yes.
For our family. Like Santa picks a theme and everybody gets a gift from the theme. So we've done like Nintendo before. We did D&D one year. We did like a king and queen and castle.
We did a video game theme one year.
Yeah,
which was like Nintendo. I got a Nintendo emulator.
Yeah, so this year, there was one that was a crown theme year or something like that.
No, it was fantasy.
This year, yeah.
And so you just got your RBG shirt with a crown.
She had a crown on.
That was your loose tie.
Yep. Anyway, so this year is movie theme. So I'm going to get popcorn and popcorn buckets, and everybody will get a movie-themed gift. So we have to figure out what
each person gets as their movie theme.
Right, and we got like a popcorn maker, and so there's usually like a big family gift, and then everybody sort of gets something, or everybody
not always a
gets
family gift. Sometimes it's just everybody gets something or two things or whatever. So anyways, I was struggling to figure it out, and then I remembered, because the kids wanted to watch The Princess Bride the other day, I remembered there was an RPG for that. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't think we would ever play it, so I'm not going to do that. But tonight even, Paul, when we were talking about Star Wars in the Discord, I was then thinking maybe I should get one of the Star Wars West End Games books. So now I'm thinking that, because Star Wars obviously works perfect with the movie theme. But I wouldn't be able to get all the books. I'd have to pick which one I would want. So they're a little pricey now because they're out of print at the moment. They're supposed to come back in print with a new company, though. Isn't that right, Paul? They're coming back with another company or something? Victor wants to get new bookcases. You should do that, Victor. It's always awesome.
We've had some good luck with like just IKEA because it's pretty...
If they have it in stock.
It's pretty squared off, so if you don't end up using it as a bookcase, you can end up using it somewhere else. Or, like, they can literally go in any room. We could put them in the kids' room if we needed something in there. Like, we could put it in the living room. Like, you could just put it anywhere just because it's simple and it matches everything.
Yeah. So Cameron says, wait, what? Why can't you play games without internet? The last console I had was a PS2. So I have a PS2. I can play games on that. I can also play games on my Nintendo emulator. But when it comes to Xbox One, it has an authentication process or something. So even if you have the disc, if it can't hook up to the internet, it won't register it for some reason. I think there might be a way to turn off the internet on the Xbox where it won't try to do that and it might skip it. But I didn't get around to trying that yet. So I don't know. Maybe it's possible. But a lot of the games I was trying to play, like my Pathfinder game and whatever, they're all digital completely. So I think I need the internet for those. I don't know. I could be wrong.
He was feeling lost without the internet.
I definitely was.
If it weren't for the fact that I work remote, it wouldn't have really bothered me that much.
I think if I was prepared for having 3-4 days without internet, I would have been fine. but I think because I was not prepared for it, and I kept hearing, "Oh yeah, it should be working in the next 2 hours," from every single person we talked to.
Yeah,
It made it worse. It just annoyed me, and so I was in a perpetual state of annoyance.
We have a rough customer service experience with the internet.
Yup.
It was bad.
Paul says the 30th anniversary West End Games edition is still available, I think. That's the D6 one, correct? I don't want that one. I mean, I probably do. But I really liked the newer one by Fantasy Flight. That was fun, Paul. Victor says, I ran Star Wars West End's game for a year. It is a good, easy system to learn. Paul says, yeah, the Fantasy Flight game Star Wars is going to be reprinted by Edge Studios. Just don't know when. So I wonder what changes they're going to make when they do that. Because normally you don't just reprint it as is. You make some changes when you change the company.
I mean, sometimes.
Usually because you don't want to
really
pay royalties.
Depends.
So you call it like a revised edition or you add something to it. That's how like TSR and all them cut Gary Gygax out of stuff. That's how Gary Gygax cut Arneson out of stuff. Like you just make a couple tweaks and then call it a new version. So I'd be surprised if they didn't do something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a little. I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean for years, not year. Yes, I did a typo again. It's okay, Victor. Cameron says, my internet on my computer wasn't working for a while. It was hard. Mind you, a while was probably a week. Like, I can handle no internet. I have plenty of gaming books to read. I just want to be prepared for it. If they say, yeah, it's going to take 4 days for us to figure this out, great. I will sit on my happy little hands and leave you alone for 4 days. But come day 5, if you haven't fixed it, I'm annoyed now.
We just we got the runaround from a bunch of people about you need to go buy new equipment. We called the modem people and they said no, the internet sucks. And we called the cable people and they said I guarantee you 100% you buy new equipment, everything's gonna be fine. Bought new equipment. Hey, guess what? Can't even install the new equipment because we don't have an internet connection. And then
we installed it, but we also we had to go through our cell phone. You couldn't authenticate
or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we called them and they said they would send a tech out, and then
don't worry, the tech doesn't have to come in. They'll be outside the whole time. It's something with the line. Oh, okay.
And then
I talked to him again because nobody came, and then the guy's like, "Oh yeah, no, actually it was the same call because then he said, "Oh, which modem are you using?" I said, "My new one. This is the code." Blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, that's not what we have on record. So they updated it wrong. Updated it wrong. Still had to wait for a technician.
So then
that didn't come.
The technician never came. So then I called and I was like, I want to complain about this customer service person because they laughed at me about the modem when I was like, well, I talked to the company and they said it's good.
Yeah.
And he was laughing at me and he was super rude about it. And so anyway, so I called to talk to that person and she's like, well, did they come out to fix it? And I'm like, no. So then she transferred me to somebody else who scheduled them a time to come out and fix it. And then the lady came out to fix it and she's like, all your lines are dead in your house. Oh, okay, cool. So
there's 2 lines that come into the house, but from the other line.
I'm giving them the high level summary version. They don't care about.
But you mentioned little things from different things.
They didn't show up here to find out about our internet fiasco.
They did.
We're just complaining about it.
No, it started because you said we had a terrible experience, but then you
it's just
embellished parts and other parts didn't say anything about it.
Everybody just kept telling us it was going to be resolved really quickly. And it ended up being out Tuesday night and didn't get resolved until Saturday.
And even then, I don't understand why she put the box where she did. Because she was going to put the box down in the base, our crawl space, and then hardwire.
No, there's another spot there to put the router down there. So she said
you put the mesh routers underneath?
She said to get the other
mesh routers. That's what she's talking about.
like a $30 router at
Mesh router.
Well,
she had to
okay.
buy like 4 of them
Whatever.
to have $120.
Yeah, you put one down there if we need our signal boosted. Anyway, it's a hot mess, you guys. We don't even know what's going on. You know? Yeah, see, Victor's the same way. He's like, just tell me what the problem is. And the annoying part, too, Victor, was that they identified the issue 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they knew as of the 14th that our internet was down.
They didn't
not
just
strong.
schedule, like, hey, can we send somebody out there? They wait till you call and complain. Like, come on, dude. Like, I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I don't have time to wait for your, you know. Like,
Paul says, Edge Studios and Fantasy Flight are owned by Asmodee, and they moved all the FFG RPG to Edge. Head of the studio is Sam Stewart, who was head of the RPG department at Fantasy Flight, has said the books will be direct reprints. Well, that's, if they're owned by the same thing, too, they won't have to do a reprint or change anything, so that makes sense. Hopefully they at least put in, like, any errata that needed to be updated, though. Somewhere, there's a bicker demon laughing in glee. It probably lives in your basement. Yeah, whatever.
It probably does.
As long as he keeps it warm.
It's with the house. Cameron, it lives in this house.
Paula thinks this house is doomed.
This house
the house
is
that
like
she picked.
Cursed. No, there was a point at which
we only moved to this town because your friend Nicole, who loved this town, who now doesn't love this town as much.
There was a point where I was like, I don't know if we should live here. Like, I don't know.
We were a week away from closing.
And I was like, I don't think it's a good idea. Like, we should get out. And
so the alternative was to stay in her parents' house and go through more bidding wars for other houses. And this was the first house that had the space that I thought we needed. Yeah. So I said it was tough. I'm in it. Like, I'm committed. Let's finish.
And I was like, I don't know.
We like the house, though.
I mean, the house physically looks fine. It's just everything underneath.
It's not that bad. We've fixed everything. We have, like, maybe 2 big things to go. We need a water heater, probably in the next year.
That we know of.
And we need to do the ventilation. The vents. That's it. That furnace is only 2 years old. If we get the vents fixed...
What about the siding on the old part of the house?
Yeah, that doesn't have to be done. It would be nice, but if the vents were fixed, we wouldn't have to worry about it being a little bit colder in those 2 rooms. Because right now, those rooms don't get heat. Like, they do, but not much at all. It's awful.
Okay, guys.
All right. So, was without internet for close to 6 months years ago. We didn't want to pay the $1,200 to get the line from across the road to the house. But we got pregnant, and wife was going to be home, so we paid. Hope they do add the errata stuff. There are about 5 pages of errata for the line. Yeah, I feel like they would do that when they do a reprint. That's typically what you do as a company. Like, you do the errata with the reprints. That's why Pathfinder 2e, still, the books that you buy don't have the errata. But when they do the second printing, they'll have the errata. And there's a lot of things they've changed. I was reading through it the other day, and I'm like, the organization in here sucks. It was really frustrating, like, reading about abilities, and you're like, oh, cool, they get extra damage. And it's like, oh, but if you read over here, it says only when they take this feat, so they don't get, or not the feat, but only once they hit this level do they get this thing. So it's like, you read it over here, you assume you just get it, but you read it over here, and you find out, oh, you don't get it till much later.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Talking about a barbarian thing. I think it was a barbarian. It's extra damage from a barbarian, I think.
What's an errata?
Errata is like anything that's wrong that they've fixed.
Gotcha.
So typos, misprints, just inaccurate things that just they've changed. You know, like, remember the thing I complained about in Pathfinder about, at first you read it here and you can use your hero points to jump back up and into combat. It doesn't work that way. That's one of the first things I said, actually, that's wrong. But still in all those books. So. You can put the kids in the rooms with no heat. Oh, no. The boys are in the room with no heat. which just happens to be.
It's not that it doesn't have heat. We
Right.
just leave so when it's cold, like
leave the door
we
open.
just leave the door open at night, and
Which makes the heat run hotter because the thermostat's literally on the other side of the door to their
right
room.
outside their door.
And it's like, oh, okay, it's 65 degrees instead of 75, even though the whole, more than half of the house is actually at like 85 degrees.
It just ends up extra warm in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a pain.
It's fine.
It's fine, but it's a pain. It's all good, though. So, guys, 6 of you are watching. Only 3 people have liked. Let's see if we can get that up to 6.
Today, I challenge you.
Cameron says, errata is annoying. Just own your mistakes. Release free or cheap corrective material for rules. People don't care about grammar mistakes. I don't know if I agree with that. I think some people hang on to grammar mistakes. I've seen people criticize books for grammar mistakes, like in their reviews. I've seen people mad that Pathfinder almost always refers to the player as a she. So I've seen people complain about that before. And they're trying to use it as a gender-neutral term, but they're trying to make it more normal and acceptable to just refer to gamers as women, too. You know what I mean?
Did somebody go through and, like, count up the number
It's
of
like
times?
if you go through the core book in either of them, they do that a lot. The president of Paizo, I think, or the main person at Paizo is a woman. And I think that's part of the reason. But I don't know. I don't care. It's whatever. It was weird at first when I saw it, but I was like, oh, whatever. You know? It's just not something you see a lot in books.
And people are upset about it?
Were upset. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time. But yeah, people used to say it in their like reviews of products and stuff.
There's too many women represented in this book? Is that what they're saying?
No, they did not say that.
What did they say? Too many times?
I don't know. It's
the
been a
gamer
while.
is referred to as female?
Cameron says, those people will do anything to get offended. Exactly. But no, I think, like, you can get the errata. They always put it out for free. There's free downloads for all the books with errata. Like, whether it's D&D or Pathfinder or whatever, you can get the errata usually on the company website. But when they do the reprints, then they add it in there. The only game system that feels like it never updates, even with reprints, is Palladium books. Like, there's so many weird things across the books that never get fixed, no matter how many reprints they do. Ooh, blue. Turquoise.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try and make
I
this
like
look
it.
a little bit more like wood, and then I thought I could do like a little darker, like blue in
I like
the
it.
middle. A little bit more like an explosion or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking.
So I feel like this isn't as crazy out here as it was before.
What?
Just like you saw it earlier, like I was stressing out with how everything was.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Like,
I mean,
the table was
covered.
covered. I had
with
nothing on
stuff.
shelves. I had no idea where to even start. That's what typically happens to me. I just don't even know where to start.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's when it's a lot like that. It's like when we move. I get overwhelmed when it's like there's so much, and I'm just like I don't know where to start.
You just have to decide and commit. Like, I'm going to start on this section. What am I going to want there?
I mean, that's
Or
what
you just look at, I don't know, like, you
That's what I
just
did.
look at what you have, and you're like, oh, I just have to, like, how does it get configured in my
I mean,
head?
that's what I did, and that's how I started.
Right?
But now, even with that, I'm like, I already have a feeling I'm going to move things on the bookshelf.
Well, of course, like, you move things as you
Like
sort of get situated.
I actually am fine with how things, like, where things are right now, I think. Yeah. So, like, I have the old D&D Next playtest stuff behind you on that one shelf with the old Marvel superhero thing from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put that into a 3-ring binder with organizers to, like, here's the monsters, here's the DM stuff, here's the player stuff. So I'll have that. I don't know which version of the playtest it was. I think it was the last one. But that would be kind of cool to just have it. Because they had some really cool concepts from what I remember. I only played a couple characters, though, for the playtest. Victor says, I own many of their RPG books with the same mistake over and over. Oh, Palladium? Yeah. Like, it sucks because, you know, I will always have nostalgia for Palladium books. Always. And I'll always want to see them succeed because of that. But I don't think I'm going to see it until there's major changes with the company, you know? And that's unfortunate. I love the superhero line. I love how it's set up. There's some things I would change for sure to streamline it and make it easier, but not lose some of like the choices. And I would carry that over then to the MDC stuff too. I bought into Savage Rifts. I've got all that from the original one. I did the full level, full tier. We played it a few times. It was fun. It was all right.
Yeah, it was fine.
There's some things I would probably take from that and put into like a new Rifts. I did like how they handled MDC with like armor piercing stuff and to make it a little bit less of a power gap. I did like that. But I'm not worried about balance, obviously, either. Cameron says, that's cool that you can get errata online. I didn't know about that. Yep. Yeah, you can download all the errata for the different games. D&D has... So people complained that you couldn't get, like, CR for the monster manual by, like, terrain types and stuff like that. They had a free download that had all that. It didn't have, like, tables, but you could look at the CR, like organized by CRs and stuff, and I think also by terrain types. So that was kind of cool when they did that. But Paizo has the errata on their website. And I know that a lot of people are really excited for the second printing of that because they are looking forward to it. I think that's coming soon. They did that Humble Bundle recently, and now, like, if you look on Amazon, the regular Pathfinder core rulebook is like $53. It went up like $15 or something like that. And I think that they must be running low on the first printing of their core book. So I kind of hope, because getting the second printing out would be kind of nice. I think the mini's looking cool, Paula.
You think so?
I do, but I like stuff like that. It's more usable. Like, I feel like when you make certain minis too colorful or whatever, it's too specific. It's like if you use it as a character, that's who that mini represents forever. Like, it'll never just be a barbarian. It's just, this is Eladra, the Goliath Barbarian forever, because she likes pink or something. Or she likes purple jewelry, or I don't know.
Personality, man. Gotta let them have a little bit of personality.
I agree sometimes. But I like being able to use them for multiple scenarios.
Well, you can.
You can, but it usually doesn't match the other minis you use them for that. Or, like, for example, if I'm trying to set up guards for you guys to fight, right? I'll look at my fighter minis and things like that, and paladins, and try to get some that match each other as best I can. You know?
Okay.
That's all.
I don't know. I mean, she's got like lightning stuff in the background, so maybe she's not the best choice for.
That's rage. She's raging.
Anyway.
That's just rage.
That's just rage.
Yeah, she's beaming with rage.
Do I have to paint the other one the same way? So like she attacks like this, and then all of a sudden you're like, and now she's raging, and you swap it out for this.
Nope, different weapons. It's a different person.
Well, they came in the same box.
I'm not worried about it. Yeah, normally they are supposed to be like the same person, I think. It's just at different levels, I think. But no, it's all good. Mm-hmm. It is. Jeez. But yeah, I thought it'd be cool to get like some shelves Maybe put them above the TV here. You can put some of the other mini, like all the dragons on one shelf or something. That would be cool.
Could be cool.
That suit of armor for the corner.
Oh my gosh, you're just
Kidding.
jealous.
Or a mannequin. Your favorite idea of the day.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Don't worry, we'll get you one too.
He's like, we'll get a mannequin. And all I can picture in my head is like a sex doll dressed up in a suit of armor. Like, this is...
So then I was like, well, if you want, we can get you one too. I mean, they make males.
Stop.
And she was like, oh no. I was like, yeah, but you can choose all sorts of different sizes and shapes and everything. Like,
Okay,
it's
we're
very
done.
detailed.
We're done with this conversation.
You brought that part up.
I'm just saying.
That is a great idea to switch out Figs when she is raging, Victor says. See, so you could do that. It's like Power Rangers or something when they like play with their belt buckle and they turn into the costumed version of themselves.
The costumed version.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it. When they turn into the colored Rangers.
They morph.
That's what it is. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I couldn't remember. I used to love that show. It's so bad. I've tried to go back and watch it, and it's so awful. I don't know how anybody could ever watch that.
I mean, I feel like it was kind of dumb when, like, I was a kid and I watched it, but I was like, eh.
You would have been like 5, though.
No, it was still on.
It came out, though, like when I was 8. And you're what, 2, 3 years older, younger than me, I mean?
How old am I?
2 or 3 years younger.
2
Okay.
years younger than you.
I mean, 2 years and a month.
Okay, anyway.
Anyways. Cameron says, aesthetics are important to some people. I learned recently that the attention I paid to mine added to making me memorable to a random person from my past. It's a form of creativity. Victor says, okay, here's a question for the watcher. How do you dress up your sex dolls?
Well, in the suit of armor, Victor.
Look, I didn't want anything anatomically correct or any of that. I just literally said a mannequin with armor because she showed me her friend has a suit of armor in her living room, but it does not look proportional. It looks weird to me. And so I was like, yeah, that's not like fantasy enough for me. I was like, maybe you get a mannequin, you buy like those cosplay outfits and you put them on it and put it in the corner. Like, or not cosplay, the LARPing outfits and you throw them in the corner. Maybe that's the way to do it. She didn't like that. She's like, no, because then you just buy a sex doll. Like, that's like $1,000.
I said that's what I see. Like, that's what's going through my head as you're describing this doll you're gonna buy and dress up in a suit of armor.
No. Yeah, we have a friend who has a suit of armor in her living room.
I think he's laughing because when Victor said, how do you dress up your sex dolls, my reaction was with the suit of armor. I mean, it's clearly the logical path to take.
I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why you would, Victor, what else would you do?
I don't think we want that answer. I don't care about if you answer it. I don't think she wants that answer. She gets really uncomfortable with these conversations for some reason. I don't understand why.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't. I'm whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, the point is that perhaps you'll get a suit of armor, and perhaps you won't get a suit of armor.
Yeah, I
we
won't.
can have that.
I won't. I wouldn't buy Nichols.
We could do like
He says, I have mine wearing a chainmail bikini with knee-high leather boots.
Oh my god.
Doesn't that pinch the nipples? And other things? That would not be comfortable.
I'm gonna take that Halloween armor that we have from that
Mhm.
one year.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to buy a
I'm gonna
mannequin and
take-
put it on it.
I'm going to take, like, some old clothes, and I'm going to scarecrow it up with the... make a scarecrow with the suit of armor.
Just going to fill it with leaves.
I'm going to put it in the corner. It'll be my Christmas gift to you.
No, thank you. No, I think we got to get the Fantasy Flight Star Wars. I should look at that and see what the price is right now. It's something like $90, I bet, on Amazon.
What are you talking about?
Fantasy Flight Star Wars, the game we played with Paul.
Oh.
Remember? Wouldn't it be cool to get that? I know the dice are like $20. 13.
I mean... Sure, but I kind of like it when other people just, like, make a character for me. And they're like, here's your character. And you're like, okay, cool, thanks.
I mean, I could do that. Oh, it's not that bad. It's $56 for the core rulebook, the white one. Which I think was the first one, right? That's Edge of the Empire. Rebellion is $70.
I feel
That's
like
the
you
red
prefer
one.
to make your own character.
I do.
But
I am
actually
somebody-
feel like I don't mind if... I really don't
For a
mind,
one-shot, I
like-
don't. For one-shots, I definitely prefer pre-gens and don't want to put any time into it. At all.
You know, but a lot of times I'd, like, continue to play those. I would be interested in, like, pursuing something, playing those characters sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. But I don't like to invest up front if I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Does that make sense? Like, if I don't know for sure it's going to be a campaign, I don't want to sit there and make a character. I'll do it if I'm
Yeah,
trying
but
to
I'm just
review a
saying,
game.
like,
But that's about it.
I sort of like having somebody just make a character for me.
Which is fine. Yeah, dice are 14. It looks like there's beginner boxes that are only 30 still. So the Force and Destiny's 30, Edge of the Empire's 30, and the Rebellion one is also 30. So if you buy the beginner boxes for each one, what are you able to do with just the beginner boxes, Paul? Are you able to make basic characters with those at all, or is it just pre-gens? Or, like, would you buy the beginner boxes and then maybe just the one core rule book? Like, I mean, I know there's a lot of books now, but...
Advise him.
Yeah, advise me. What is the way to go for this? Right, I know we played the beginner box, but, like, are you able to make basic characters for that set? Does that make sense? Because I know each one of those beginner boxes has a core book. You have red, black, and white. Black introduces, like, the Force and Jedis and Sith.
Ooh, so Cameron says, if someone was, say, working on a superhero system, what would you tell them were the most important avant-garde
Only 20?
superpowers to include in a list of 20 superpowers?
I don't think that's enough.
Okay.
Strength, any super attribute, strength, speed, intelligence, you know, things like that. Dexterity. Just pre-gens, unfortunately, the boxes are good if you get them cheap for the tokens and maps and dice. Oh, the dice come with it. Oh.
Yeah, so you'd need, like, the super strong.
So, yeah, the superheroes. You
need
need super strong, super speed, super intelligent, super agile.
Yeah, so that's 4.
Yep.
You need, like...
And maybe the super tough.
Okay, so that's 5. You need, like, a,
Flying.
Yep. You
Shape
need...
changing.
Yes.
Projectiles, whether it's eyes, hands, whatever.
Yep.
Zappy zappies. X-ray vision.
Correct. You need some sort of, like, telepathy or, like, mental, psychic powers.
Like force powers. Like you could pick things up with your mind. Is that what you mean? Or are you talking about reading minds?
Yeah, I'm talking about reading minds.
Okay, so those are two different things that could possibly also fall into the same category.
That'd be like...
Because even Jedi can kind of do that. Okay.
Okay, so we're up to 11.
Okay.
Invisibility.
Yep. Supersize
Yep.
and shrink. I'll count that as one. We're at 13.
What else?
Alter your physical structure. So in other words, change to metal, change into fire, change into...
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
So I would just call that altering your physical structure. Or you could just say, not shape change because it's not the same, but like change your elemental composition or something. You call it APS, alter physical structure, you're stealing from Palladium. Super jump or leap. You don't think that'd be a cool one?
I mean, yeah, but like you might get that with like super strength. Like you can also jump pretty far. Like that's like an add-on ability. What about like a regeneration?
I know that's the tough thing. Could lump that in with being
tough
super
thing.
tough.
I was thinking like tough skin physically.
No, that'd be alter physical structure.
Bullets bounce off of you or whatever.
No, that could be alter physical. Well, that could be, but yeah. There could be different varying degrees of it. 20 is not a lot.
I don't know. I mean, we've gotten pretty far.
I mean, I can come up with a bunch more just naming off one of the 400 abilities in the Heroes Unlimited game.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
He wanted the 20 staples.
Those are all staples that we just gave you.
Magic. Like legit real magic.
Some would be illusion. An illusionist.
Yeah, but that'd be magic.
Yeah, but that's more specific.
Yeah, I don't think you want it specific. You want like categories that.
Yeah, I know, but
I want to be all encompassing.
Magic is really general. I would say like, you know, some kind of like illusionist.
I think, Paul, that's what I might try to do. I might try to line up getting the box sets and maybe the one core book. If I can get it cheap enough.
And by line up, he means he's going to talk to me after the stream.
I already talked to you about it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You love it.
I'm starting to think that maybe you didn't talk to me about it.
Oh, the black box is only $25. So Paul says, if you're wanting to play a Star Wars campaign, I could do a monthly game or something when all this COVID stuff is over. I'd be game. Unfortunately, I feel like that's like a year away. But yeah, I'd be game for sure.
Yeah.
I know Paula would play.
When is the COVID part over?
I mean, once the vaccine's out and people are better. I mean, I don't know. In Michigan, we just shot things down, so I guess it's over as of yesterday. Or Friday. Legally.
How's Paul doing? Doesn't he work in healthcare?
Yeah. Hey, Paul, how are you doing, man?
I hope you're doing okay.
Ooh, getting the minis for it would be cool, too. Star Wars minis used to be super cheap, too.
Oh, those might be kind of fun.
5 years ago, Star Wars minis were like $1 each. They were really nicely priced.
I wonder if my brothers sold their Star Wars stuff.
They don't have Star Wars miniatures.
No, they had like small figures, like action size figures.
Oh. I guess the kids would probably like something like that. The boys probably. Lily likes Star Wars though. I've watched all the movies with her.
I know.
The only ones she hasn't seen are Solo. And
the last Star Wars movie. That's what we should watch.
We've all watched that.
I know, but it's such a good one. I like the last one.
You're gonna make everyone mad in the chat.
Why? People don't like that movie?
So the black box, the Force Awakens box, I think, had was $25. Later, Victor. It was good talking. See you soon, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know. COVID calls have slowed down for now. He said.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so there's a black box right there. So this one is... Ooh, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. I clicked it, and it did not take me to where I wanted. So Force and Destiny is 29. But there was another black one. That was the Force Awakens. Yeah. So it's $87 for Force and Destiny, Edge of the Empire, and Age of Rebellion. So that's $90. So the other one must have been the Force Awakens. I didn't know they had a box for that too. That's kind of cool. Where's that one at now? There it is. The Force Awakens is $25. He said that comes with the nice galaxy map. Only reason I want to get it. Yeah, but you have like all the books, don't you? Cameron says, legit, thanks for the help. I'm trying to distill superpowers into 20 super skills or a list of 20 basic and 12 to 20 advanced ones. Psychic, Key, and Magic have their own skill list so far. Yeah, so like if you're looking to do something, I would say look at Mutants and Masterminds. They repurpose a lot of like powers from... I've never played it. I don't own the books. I've never seen the books. But from talking to people, they say that like you get these powers, but it's left vague in general. And so like you might get some kind of like expulsion, whether you shoot it out of your eyes or your hands or your chest or whatever, out of a blaster. But like that's your power. You're blasting something with lasers or plasma or whatever. And they do that with a lot of things. And so you can still make almost any hero you can imagine. You just have to reskin what some of the abilities are. And they do that to cut down on some of the stuff from what I've heard. But that was also a conversation I had many years ago. Yeah, I don't know. This one looks really cool too. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. I guess that would probably be perfect too, because I mean, would we ever play a full-on campaign of it? You know what I mean?
What?
Of Star Wars.
What would be kind of perfect?
The boxes rather than the books. I would like to get the books, but I mean, when would we play campaigns of it? I mean, Paul said he'd run it for us, but we're looking at least a year down the road, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Missing 3 of the class books, no adventure books, couple of the setting books. I do need to get on the adventure books for the Mando species stuff.
It's looking pretty good. The shield looks kind of cool.
I know, the shield's awesome. I think that character looks cool. Oh, I thought you had a lot more, Paul. Either way, it's still cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be down to play it once a month. Who knows what'll be going on around that time, but I would love to play more games that are not D&D. Like, I would love to play Pathfinder 2e.
I had fun playing.
I would love to play Star Wars.
Ooh,
Yeah.
almost drank that.
Almost drank the wrong one. Does it look like chocolate milk or something? No, it doesn't even look like anything you can drink. It's white. It doesn't even look like milk. It's gross. But yeah, I would definitely play more games. Like, I want to play a 2nd edition Pathfinder game. I want to play Dragon Age. I want to play Fantasy Age. You know. I'm open to playing old school D&D. Paul. We all do, I think. I mean, there is a way to get any book you want in the world right now.
What?
Illegally obtaining them.
Oh.
This is the calmest Star Wars discussion on the internet. You know, Cameron, I'm not somebody who gets all worked up on Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I did not like it as a kid. I like it as an adult.
I had to make him like rewatch them.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I had to convince you that it was okay to buy them all. You didn't want to buy them all.
No, that's just me not wanting to buy stuff.
When I was a
So you
kid, I
just
used to
have
think it was
stuff.
boring. At some point as an adult, I gave it another shot and I've learned to like it. And I really enjoy it. I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan, though.
That's why it's the calm discussion.
Right. I like the new ones. I know some people hate them. I liked Solo. Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie. It's like the perfect Star Wars movie for me.
I like the last one that they made. I mean, like, they made mistakes, but...
You liked it because it's like this action love story, but you don't get the payoff. The love payoff.
No, I liked it.
What do you like about it?
It was just a little bit more, like, twisty.
Twisty?
Yeah, like, plot twisty.
You
Like,
think so?
oh, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Like, what is he doing? I don't know. Like, it was just a little bit less, like...
Yeah. I like the rebellion coming up with, like, the kids and stuff when they go to, the casino place.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That world I'm really fascinated with, and I'm really fascinated with, like, the kids coming up in the rebellion, like, to work for it. Like, that's kind of cool. Paul says, I'm just sick of the toxic fans. There are problems with it. Yeah, the people that attack, like, actors who are just doing their job and have no say in, like, the editing or the character really, like, how it's portrayed and stuff, like, that's stupid. Like, I don't know. The way they treated the one girl was awful. The Asian girl who was in the show or in the movie. Like, she got, like, death threats and everything. She got rid of, like, all her social media because of it.
Really?
Yeah. Rogue One is a perfect representation of Star Wars RPG game in movie form. Yeah, it actually is. Like, from the way we played it, I feel like that was kind of like a Rogue One scenario. That's probably why I had so much fun. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't be the robot, though. I would totally be...
You would have been my character.
No, I would let you be the bounty hunter. But I would be something along those lines. I like the blow-em-up fighter classes. I don't need to be able to have the biggest gun. But I want to be adequate with the gun. I probably would have been like a smuggler or something. Like a Han Solo type character.
Mm.
Where I can at least work a gun. That would have been cool. But yeah, I don't know. Don't know. But I would love to play Star Wars as a campaign. I would love to do a superheroes game as a campaign, as a player. That would be fun. I'd love to do a post-apocalyptic, like, Rifts game as a player. And then I would love to play a Pathfinder 2nd Edition game. Like, that would be cool. If I could rotate playing through those, like, I would be happy.
That's what you would do.
Yup. If I had a GM for each one of those things, I would do it. You would love it. You would have fun.
Oh, I
Mixing
would
it
have
up
fun.
like that.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. I would do it.
Unfortunately, when I have the craving to do stuff, I have to be the one to run it. That's kind of how it goes. Do you like having the paint over there, actually?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah?
Super nice.
Yeah.
I like not looking at it.
Oh, there you go.
I like not looking at things
Mm-hmm.
on the counter.
But yeah, I would also enjoy playing a Jedi or not even necessarily a Jedi or Sith, but whatever the middle one is. Just a Force user. That would be cool.
Oh, there's a middle section?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they're like just called Force users. Yeah, the one guy who was like, I'm one with the Force is with me, I think was one in Rogue One.
Mm.
Remember he was blind, but he could still kind of see stuff somehow?
Nope, I don't remember. I wasn't a big fan of that movie. I
How
don't know
are you
why.
not? It was like the Gray Jedi is what they're called. Yeah, those ones. I would totally love to be one of those. One thing that I've been seeing for a while that I love is that people are figuring out it's okay to like the prequels. Yeah, there were problems, but they're great pulp action adventures. I liked the prequels. I'm not a Jar Jar hater. I actually saw that one, the very first one, in theaters. Like, the day it came out. And I remember thinking it was all right for, what was I, 12 maybe? 13?
Yeah, I would say, so did I, but I was younger than you were, too.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. I
liked
didn't love
all
it.
of them. I feel like, you know, I know some people get disappointed when you see the movie, like, versus reading the book or whatever your expectations are, but I think you just have to take those things at face value. Like, they are what they are.
Right.
They don't have to be something else or something more than just what they are.
I think the problem is people read the online theories, and some of the online theories are amazing. And you start theory crafting, and you're like, oh, that would be cool. It's like what wrestling fans do. They're like, oh yeah, if this guy turned on this guy and like the storyline went this way, like that would be so cool, that'd be awesome. And then like what actually happens is not even close to that. And it's just not as good. And so then people get let down, and then they think it sucks when if you watch it for what it is, you know, it's not that bad. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Cameron says, have y'all heard the theory that Jar Jar is a Sith? Yes. It makes
Jar
the movies double awesome. It's in my head canon now.
What?
He's a Sith Lord.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like
that's
theories
a
about
whole theory? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
oh
there's so many crazy online theories. So many.
This is a terrible idea.
I am curious to see where they go with the Star Wars franchise, though. It's just the Skywalker saga is over. Doesn't mean Sith and Jedi are not going to be in future Star Wars movies. Who knows? Maybe they'll do another trilogy or something.
Maybe they'll just go off script and just like make stuff up now.
Mm-hmm. Yup, they might as well. The thing that I think they need to be careful of is if they do something like that, though, where they go completely left field, they shouldn't call it Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, just leave the Star Wars, those two words out of it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Dude, Paula, there's a long-ass video on YouTube that fully explains it. It's so cool. So, Cameron, can you post that into my Discord? Can you find it and post it in my Discord?
I'm about to watch it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll make Paula watch it. Did you finish it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It looks like garbage.
What do you mean it looks like garbage?
It looks like garbage.
No, it doesn't. You
I
didn't...
don't know what I did. I know what I did. I shouldn't have done what I did.
What'd you do?
Nothing. It looks
well, maybe
great.
you shouldn't do nothing.
It looks great. It looks phenomenal.
Maybe you shouldn't do nothing.
I've never done anything better in my life.
Whatever. All right. So the core rulebook for Age of Rebellion is $67. The core rulebook for Edge of the Empire is $56. What about the Game Masters kits, Paul? What do you think of those? Because it looks like they have one of those for every single one of them as well. Yeah, the West End Games one is $38. That's just a D6 system, though. It's really old, too. Let's see. I wonder if I click on this one, if it'll show me the other core rule books. Nope. Interesting. There's a game called Gyrating Hamsters. There's a core rule book. There's a core rule book. Oops.
Well, I don't think we're buying gyrating hamsters.
Why? What you got against gyrating hamsters?
I feel like we're back to the sex doll conversation.
We're not talking about sex dolls. That's you. You're the only one that wants a bunch of sex dolls. No? I just got the meanest look ever, guys. Ever. So is there a Force Awakens core rulebook? Because I'm not seeing that either. I'm only seeing the 3 core rulebooks. They're nice. They're almost identical, though. I prefer to use the AOR one because it has weapon stats on it. Biggest thing I use from it is the critical hit chart. Gotcha. Do they come? What do they come with? Just like literally just a DM screen? Do they come with like an adventure or something? Because I feel like the best DM screens come with like adventures. No. Well, that one's only 48. So they're not bad. Not bad.
Sorry, I'm focusing on this.
Oh, you're fine. I'm researching. Researching it all.
You're gonna figure out all of it.
All right, so he dropped the Jar Jar video in the mini painting with Paula chat. Okay, I will grab that and I will send that to her. Oh, okay, they come with an adventure and also some extra rules. Some have been reprinted in later books. There is no Force Awakens book. Oh, just the beginner box for that then. Okay. Interesting. So is there a plan to do a book for it? It's literally could get the 3 core books. It's kind of pricey. Yeah, you'd be at 150 for the core books, 90 bucks for the boxes. So 240 if you want all 6 things. And then you can make any kind of character pretty much for the most part. And then the boxes. No, it was really to push the system and cash in on the Force Awakens. Oh, that makes sense. Makes sense. To kind of go after the movie people. The thing that would be really cool too, and maybe you can answer this, do they have the characters from the movies in any of the books at all? Like statted out? Like if you wanted Kylo Ren or if you wanted Darth Vader, are they in any of the books at all? Statted out?
I feel like the answer is going to be no.
I mean, I do too, but you never know. Like, that's the thing I feel like when you play a game based off an IP, you want those characters. You know what I mean? Like, at least I do.
Yeah, but is it better to let people come up with their own?
Yes, unless it's a one-shot. Like, what if you want to say, like, hey, the scenario is The Force Awakens. You're playing this character. You're playing this character. Like, what do you do now? It could totally change the way the movie would go. Right? It might be more fun for a one-shot. Cameron says, have y'all played the old D20 Star Wars systems? I have the one that came out after episode 2. I have not. I have only played... So I've got a hard time playing games that are intellectual properties. Like, I always feel uncomfortable running them. And unfortunately, I feel like I'm usually the DM.
I think sometimes it's hard to run those games if you're worried about messing up the world.
Yeah. So some of them are in the books, he said. Like
So
Darth Vader,
I
Lando,
think
and a few
some
others.
of that is a little bit difficult from a DM perspective. I don't think there's a lot of like stuff like that either one of us is into enough to
Dragon
know
Age.
all the rules. I don't know enough.
Oh, I don't know enough either to say I could run it perfectly accurate, but I would. It's okay. I would be able to run it and have fun with it. I wouldn't make it like, oh, you guys are the Inquisitor and you're fixing the world, but you might be a small mercenary company that works for him. You know what I mean? And so the little things you do won't impact the, major stuff. You might come across characters from the games, but like it's not gonna be the games. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I would never want to play the actual game. That would be so hard.
Well, yeah, it would be. But like, you could be a group of mercenaries that goes up against Corypheus, for example. And while you beat him, you don't kill him,
Right.
You just thwart his plans to take over the bay or something. And so now he's not getting ships in or something. I don't know. I heard that the D20 Star Wars, I didn't know there were 3 of them, but I heard the D20 Star Wars was really good. I also heard that the West End Games one was better, the D6 version. But everybody I've talked to loves the Fantasy Flight Star Wars. Everybody. I have not met a person who does not like it. Fantasy Flight didn't want the main characters to take the spotlight from the players, plus the arguments of how they should have been.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are their powers? How far do you take their abilities? Like,
I think you only do what they did in the movies, probably.
Yeah, but like, is that different from
The books?
Yeah, so then which one do you do? How do you appease everybody? Like,
Well, you don't appease everybody. That's
You
no matter
know,
what you're doing. You
so
never
that's
try to
why you
appease
don't. So usually it's like other people who go through and try and do it, and they're like, oh, here's how I made this person. Usually it's not
ORC/RCR felt like it was D&D with laser swords. Just hearing that just makes me go, nope, I don't want to play that one.
Hey, so that's looking good in like a
I think it looks
periwinkle kind of color.
I think it looks sweet. That would totally be an awesome character. Like, I can just imagine. The shield looks like it's magical. Whatever the hell's coming out of her back or ground is cool.
Okay.
It's almost like she pooped a blue turd and it exploded when it hit the ground.
My God, Caleb.
Hey, wait. Who was
Oh my
making
gosh.
fart jokes last night?
Oh my gosh.
You. After getting on Caleb
You know
about
what
it?
he did? Do you know what he did before bed?
No.
Okay, guys. So Elf on the Shelf is real big in our house around Christmas. Our kids love the elf. Our kids love fairies and like anything that requires
Magic.
excessive amounts of magic and imagination. Like, so Caleb told me before bed, he said, I feel kind of sad that there's no Halloween elf getting us ready for Halloween. So he had located one of these plastic skeletons we have that's like 4 inches tall. Maybe it's like 6 inches tall. And he said, I hid it where nobody can reach it. And if it moves, then we'll know that it's alive. And it'll be our Halloween elf. Will be this plastic skeleton. So he hid the skeleton in a block of knives that we have, like interlaced in there. So of course, like a wonderful parent, I'm gonna go move it tonight.
I'm not getting involved in this game. I'm not hiding it every day. Screw all that.
Like, I feel like I have to go hide it, right, you guys? Like, I need to move it. Like, I feel like on one hand, he's forgotten what the elf is supposed to be about. But on the other hand, like, I'm also gonna move it.
Oh my goodness. Terrible. Don't do it.
I mean, isn't that the right thing to do?
I mean, it'll be funny. You need to tell your 9-year-old daughter it's not real, though.
No, I'm just gonna let her figure it out. She's fine.
Finch is in a relationship. Did you know that?
You're not paying attention.
I'm shocked that he is in a relationship.
I mean, everybody's
See?
unsure about that. Oh.
Oh no. Anyways. Yeah, we need to make that happen though, Paul. We could even play it online if you were up for it.
I feel like we got a lot of games. That Monsters of the Week thing.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sent an email about that. Gotta read it.
You might end up liking this girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Monsters of the Week. You got to make your character.
I know, I haven't even made the character. I think somebody sent an email about, like, when are we gonna get together
you would have fun.
to talk about it?
Yeah, they want to do a
Something
session
like
0,
that.
but I don't have time for a session 0.
I don't know
But I'm
how
not
we're
playing,
gonna
so it
do
doesn't
that.
matter.
I haven't even looked at the book yet.
They haven't.
I have no
you
character.
don't need the whole book.
I have no character.
Oh, look, she's a Star Wars fan. Boba Fett costume. Yes, I'm spying on my best friend's new relationship.
Okay, that shield looks pretty good. It looks pretty good.
The shield been sweet. You didn't like it before?
I'm just, like, trying to make it, trying to add depth. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Trying.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with it. My biggest gripe with the D20 systems was the Jedi became too powerful and didn't need the party. They practically could do everything with the Force powers. I mean, in general, though, what can't Jedi do with their Force powers? I mean, they can, based on the movies, they can do some crazy shit.
They can, but, they only get so much power, though.
It's just like anything. You get tired.
I know, but
it's like an extension of their physical self.
I also feel like there's an element of it where...
He'd be down for online.
Sometimes they receive the power and sometimes they don't. Almost like, the system gives them power. The Force gives them the power. So sometimes, every so often, they get these sudden bursts of additional power, right? That they don't always have. And that's when we see, the cool things happening in movies. But on a regular basis, they don't exert themselves to that level. So they almost need to be able to overextend themselves. But, on a regular day...
I understand why it's
do.
annoying in a game to have one person that's more powerful than the rest of the party. I understand that completely. That's annoying. And even in the movies, they never just do everything themselves. like sometimes they let the other person do stuff. You know, it's kind of how you have to play it. You have to let other people do stuff. But yeah, being like an automatic success on stuff just because they're a Jedi, that's stupid in a game context. But they're pretty damn powerful. Like being able to lift an X-wing out of a swamp is a pretty big deal. Like that means in theory you should be able to open any of those mechanical doors with your mind, because they're gonna
somehow they still can't. So that's why I'm saying like they have these moments of like excess force.
And they can convince a couple stormtroopers to like go the other direction and ignore that they were there, you know. Cameron says, I'm game testing my RPG with my cousin's kids soon. They're in 7th and 10th grade. Any advice? The youngest one is into sports and the oldest one is super into 5th. I'm into sports. I don't think that matters. I think you can be equally into sports as RPGs.
Well, they're like competition, so...
Yeah, he might like more of the competitive aspects, maybe. But so it's so...
If that's what they
it's
like
very
about
vague.
sports.
Yeah, it's very vague. So, for example, when I was younger, my stepbrother, younger one, was really into sports. But we do not like the same stuff about sports whatsoever, right? Like, he is very into individual players, very into the theatrics of it, I guess, right? Me, I feel like I'm more into the team aspect. Like, there's certain players I really like, but I usually don't like them necessarily just because they're a good player.
You actually like the strategy aspect of it.
Yes.
Like, how do the players
tension of it.
interact with each other at the right moment
Yeah.
to build this epic thing together?
Right.
Like, yeah.
I love the idea of, like, building a team. So, like, when I play video games, for example, I'm really into the managerial side, where it's like you build the team. You hire different people. You sign different people.
He doesn't care as much about the actual gameplay.
Correct.
Of the actual
when
game.
I'm playing a video game. When I'm watching, I get really into it, though, and I do care. Like, right now, it's really hard to... I'm a Lions fan, so it's really hard to watch that garbage. But still. Melchior's back. Says, I hath returned my faithful vassals. You may now rejoice. Paul says, in Saga, you could get...
Hey, Melchior, guess what? I finished the dresser.
Oh, yeah, she finished the dresser.
I finished the dresser,
Did he know about the dresser? I don't even know if he knew about the dresser.
because he was the 47 Shades of Pine.
Yeah, but I thought that was because of miniatures.
No, we were trying to figure out what the dresser was made of.
Oh, okay. Paul says, in Saga, you could get talents that allow you to pilot, stealth, pickpocket, perception, mechanics, and other skills that I can't think of right now that are all based off the Force skill. Well, that's stupid. That should not. None of those should be based off of Force. But with Force, you should be able to boost them. Like, yeah, we understand why Luke and Vader were really good pilots because of their Force abilities. And the same thing with Kylo Ren and things like that. They were good because of their Force abilities. But I feel like, if anything, that should just be able to boost your skill. I don't think that your skill should be based on that. But yeah, I got you. That would kind of be dumb. Cameron says in Pathfinder 1E, there's a mechanic called Burn that allows you to overextend yourself. It's in the Kineticist class. That could be ported over for your Jedis. Yeah, it could. Yeah, I do think you should have a reserve, like an amount of Force you can use before you are too tired to use it. And you have to take a long rest kind of thing. Because that's how it is in the movies and stuff, too. Like, some stuff, like simple Force stuff, doesn't really exert anything. But lifting a freaking X-Wing out of a swamp or, whatever, uses quite a bit, Yeah, like, there's a lot of people who like different things about sports. Depending on context, I like different things. I love to watch sports. I'm really into them. When I play video games about them, though, it's different why I play them. But I always like to, in general, even with RPGs, I like to theory craft. I'm doing the same thing when I'm playing video games. I'm theory crafting what would happen if I did this with the team. What if I changed the coach? What if I changed some of these players? What if I did this or that? So I like the same kind of stuff. It's very different, but it works that same part of the imagination for me. The stronger your concentration, the more the Force will do for you. Oh, canonically, in the Star Wars universe, the Force doesn't require actual effort to use. It takes concentration, which is all the effort. That's not true, though. If you watch, you can see them look physically exhausted after doing it. And concentration doesn't necessarily make you physically exhausted like that. So it's not completely true. At least not from my experiences watching the movies.
Yes.
Fun fact, Melchior, you're wrong. I don't know. I've never read the books, though. I'm not big in the canon for it. But I agree. It is also tied to concentration, too. But it is also physically exerting them.
Okay.
Martin says, it does make you mentally exhausted, though. I agree. I could see that. Are you done with it?
I don't know.
Are you almost done with it?
I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, almost? I think so. I think I'm just going to call it a day here in a little bit.
Yeah? As you pour new paint into
yep.
the... Oh, okay. But yes, I agree. Concentration can make you mentally exhausted. Heck, being social for me makes me mentally exhausted a lot of times. We were just talking about that earlier today. Melchior says, it's not supposed to take physical effort. I'm pretty sure the takes physical effort is a Disney corruption. No, that was Luke who did it, and that was pre-Disney, man. Like, Luke did it with the X-Wing, and then, like, didn't he fall to his knees because he was so physically exhausted? I feel like that happened. Like, the Disney thing, they only did, like, 2 or 3 movies. But I feel like even in the original movies, you see them get tired after doing great feats with the Force abilities. In Fantasy Flight games, it costs XP to get the Force powers and to increase them. It keeps the Force player character balanced with the party as they have to choose to increase their Force powers or get other character talents. Melchior says, when Yoda finishes levitating the X-Wing onto land, he just grunts and isn't tired. Yeah, but that's because he's worked that muscle more.
He's freaking Yoda.
He's a Jedi Master. Luke isn't a Jedi Master yet, so it's physically tired. It's like anything. If I go and lift 200 pounds above my head, I'm going to be freaking tired. If Arnold Schwarzenegger comes and lifts 200 pounds above his head,
he might be tired.
He's going to
right
grunt
now.
and laugh. No, he's probably still in kick-ass shape. But the point is he's going to grunt and laugh, and that's it. Like, you know. Whereas, like, me, for example, picking up a stack of D&D books is not that hard for me. My daughter picking up a stack of D&D books is hard for her. She's going to be tired afterwards. Martin says that's because Luke wasn't skilled enough and still thought he had to use physical energy to move it. I don't know. I think it does require... In fact, that's how I wish games worked with magic, too. Like, I wish it was more of like they implied that it was an exertion of energy. They don't really explain it like that. They're like, oh, well, you prepared this many, so that's what you can do. You know? When Yoda fights Dooku, he gets hella tired after moving a piece of falling machinery. Oh, that was... Yeah, there you go. That was in the Clone Wars stuff, which is also pre-Disney. That wasn't Disney yet. Melchior says the problem with Luke was that he thought it had to take the physical effort. That's why he got tired. Yoda knows that it only takes concentration because he has more training. I don't know, man. That's not how I saw it. Arnold did an action movie with Jackie Chan recently. Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I can see it being both ways. However, in the movies, that is not what they explained at all, and that's not what they showed. If you go through any of the old Star Wars stuff, it's totally physically exhausting. Gain exhaustion. Oh, okay, yeah. I forget the name of the game, but there was one where you gained exhaustion from overcasting when you didn't have enough mana. So that's something I'm trying to work into my own like fantasy game. Is I want it to use up energy But I also want like your fighter when they do their special abilities to use up energy, and like your rogue if they use special talents, certain ones to use up energy. And so you could dip into your negatives, but now you're, at risk of some serious things happening.
I think I might call it on this one, at least for right now.
I like it.
I don't know.
Okay, so what do you not like about it? Because I can tell you don't like it.
There's just a lot of brown.
No, I think it's good. You got a lot of blue too, so the blue pops more because there's not,
I think I gotta fix her hair and her face a little bit, but I think I'm gonna call it for tonight.
Okay.
I'll fix her hair and face, and then we'll start a new one next time.
Okay. I don't know what the canon actually is. Again, I don't know where you even find that. Because, you can refer to the books, but even that stuff's been struck from, like, even over the years, they've changed. They're like, oh, this is canon, but this one isn't. Like, even before Disney. And then I think Disney decided not to use it. Right? But the original idea was that using the Force only takes concentration, not physical effort. Yeah, I don't know. That's why Yoda told Luke, you must unlearn what you have learned. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. This is why I'm not a Star Wars expert.
This is why we don't usually play Star Wars games.
Well, this isn't why that, but we really don't play because we don't have people to play it with.
I mean, that's also true.
So, anyways, so we're going to end the stream there. We will be back Tuesday for Keep on the Borderlands. And then Wednesday, we will hopefully figure out this hair situation Paula wants to figure out with this barbarian. And then move on to a new miniature. So, thanks for watching, guys. And we will see you next time. Game on.